Right now, somewhere in your home or in your memory, there's a cat. And that cat has a sound it makes just for you. A little meow when you walk in, a louder one near its empty bowl, a soft one in the morning when it wants you awake. Here's the strange part. That sound was basically invented for humans. Your cat almost never uses it on other cats. In a very real way, your cat created a private language, and you are the only one it speaks to. Picture the ordinary version of this. You come home, and before you've even put your bag down, there it is, the meow. You answer back like it's the most natural thing in the world. Hi, yes, I see you. Okay, food? A tiny conversation, repeated thousands of times across your life, so familiar you probably never stop to think about it. But maybe you should. Because adult cats, out in the wild, living among other cats, barely meow at all. Kittens meow to their mother to say they're cold or lost or hungry. It's a baby's cry, meant for a parent. But as kittens grow up, that sound is supposed to fade away. Wild adult cats communicate mostly in quieter ways, through scent, through the angle of their bodies, through the slow, subtle language of ears and tails and eyes. An adult cat meowing at another adult cat is rare. It is not really the main language of cats. It is baby talk that they usually grow out of. So why does your cat meow at you constantly? Why did a mostly silent animal suddenly rediscover its voice and aim it almost entirely at us? Because somewhere along the way, cats figured something out about humans. They learned that we are strange, soft, oblivious creatures who cannot read scent the way they do, who completely miss the meaning in a flick of a tail or the turn of an ear, but who respond instantly and reliably to sound. They notice that a small cry makes a human look, makes a human stand up, makes a human open a door or fill a bowl or reach down with a gentle hand. So they kept doing the one baby behavior that actually worked on us. They never let it fade. And this is where it becomes genuinely remarkable. Cats did not just keep meowing. They aimed it. They refined it. Like a key slowly being filed down to fit one specific lock. Studies have found that a cat's meows can become specific to its own particular human. One cat develops a set of sounds that work on its person, and a different cat in a different home develops a different set. It is almost as if every cat and every owner slowly invent a tiny private dialect together. A handful of distinct sounds that mean, feed me, let me out, pay attention to me right now. Sounds that only the two of you fully understand. Your cat is not just talking to humans in general. It is talking to you. It learned, through years of trial and error, which sounds work on you specifically, and then built a little language around them. And if that were the whole story, it would already be charming enough. But it goes a step beyond charming. Honestly, it gets a little unsettling. Researchers studying the sounds cats make when they want to be fed found something hidden inside the purr. When a cat truly wants something from you, usually food, it can fold a second sound into its normal, contented purr. A high, sharp, urgent little cry. And when scientists measured the frequency of that hidden cry, they found it sits surprisingly close to the frequency range of a crying human baby. The kind of sound our brains are wired, deep down, to find very hard to ignore. Think about what that means. Your cat may have stumbled onto a sound that quietly hijacks the part of you built to respond to a helpless infant. A noise tuned by a small furry animal to slip right past your logic and pull directly on the deepest, most protective part of your brain. So when you feel like you physically cannot ignore your cat crying at you in the morning, that might not be weakness. That might be a tool shaped over thousands of years, working exactly as intended. And the meow is only one trick in the collection. Watch your cat slowly blink at you, eyes drifting half closed, calm, relaxed, almost lazy. That is not random sleepiness. A slow blink is a real signal of trust. Researchers have studied it. It is a cat's way of telling you it feels safe enough to close its eyes in your presence, that it does not see you as a threat. And here's the lovely part. If you slowly blink back, many cats will return the gesture. You can actually have a tiny, silent conversation of trust with your cat just by blinking. Then watch your cat need you, pressing its paws into your lap, in and out, with that faraway content look. That is a behavior kittens use against their mother's belly to encourage milk to flow. Your fully grown adult cat is doing infant behavior, directed at you, treating you as a source of comfort and care. The truth is that on some deep level, your cat may never have completely stopped seeing you as a parent figure. It never fully grew out of the part of kittenhood where you are the warm, safe giant who provides. And here is the detail that ties the whole strange relationship together. For a long time, people assumed cats simply did not understand us, that they ignored us because nothing was getting through that aloof little face. Then researchers actually tested it. In one study, they played cats a recording of several strangers calling the cat's name, one after another, and then slipped in the voice of the cat's own owner. The cats reacted to the owner's voice. Their ears swiveled, their heads turned, their pupils changed. They clearly recognized it. They could pick their person out from a lineup of strangers using sound alone. In another study, scientists found that cats recognize their own names. They can distinguish their name from a list of similar-sounding words. So your cat knows its name. It knows your voice. It understands far more than it usually lets on. And yet, when you call it, it often just sits there, blinking slowly at you, deciding whether this is worth its time. That is the punchline of the entire video. Your cat is not ignoring you because it does not understand. It is ignoring you because it does understand, and it has simply decided that responding is optional. A dog hears its name and comes sprinting, desperate to please. A cat hears its name, registers it completely, considers you for a long moment, and then makes a choice. The understanding was never really in question. The obedience was. And the obedience was never guaranteed. Dog hands you its whole heart and waits for instruction. A cat gives you its attention only when it decides you have earned it. It is the oldest move in all of attraction. The one who needs you least holds the most power. And your cat plays it flawlessly, every single day, without anyone ever teaching it how. So how did we get here? How did a small, fiercely independent predator end up living inside our homes, speaking a language designed for us, and treating us like its parent? The answer flips the entire relationship on its head. We did not really tame cats. Cats, more or less, tamed themselves. Around 10,000 years ago, when humans first began storing grain in large amounts, those grain stores attracted mice. And the mice attracted wild cats. The boldest, calmest, least fearful cats, the ones that could tolerate being near loud, busy humans, discovered an endless, easy buffet of rodents around human settlements. So they stayed. They were not captured. They were not bred and shaped for specific jobs, the way dogs were, over thousands of years, to herd and hunt and guard. Cats simply looked at this strange new species that produced warmth, food, and safety, and decided, entirely on their own terms, to move in. And they have never fully surrendered. This is the part people forget. Your cat is still surprisingly close to its wild ancestors, far closer than a dog is to a wolf. In many cases, your cat could walk out the door tomorrow and survive on its own. It is not as dependent on you as we like to imagine. It chooses to stay. It chooses you. And then, to manage the enormous, clumsy, well-meaning creature it now lives alongside, it built a voice that it uses on almost no one else in the world. There is even a small detail that gives the whole thing away. When a friendly cat approaches you, it often walks over with its tail held straight up in the air, like a little flag. That upright tail greeting is a sign of friendliness and trust, and it became especially important in the social life of cats living around humans. Every time your cat trots over to you, tail up, voice calling, it is performing a greeting shaped by generations of life beside us. Now sit with the part that lingers. You probably believe that you adopted your cat. You went and chose it. You brought it home. You feed it, clean up after it, pay its bills, and imagine that you are the one in charge of this arrangement. But step back and look at the whole picture from the outside. A small wild animal moved into your space. It got you to provide food, warmth, shelter, and constant care. It developed a private language, including a sound that may press on the same instincts as the cry of your own young, for the specific purpose of making you do things. And this exact strategy has worked, quietly and beautifully, on our entire species, over and over in millions of homes for thousands of years. We think of it as keeping a pet. From the cat's side, it might look a lot more like a small, soft predator that figured out how to get a much larger species to wait on it hand and foot, and feel grateful for the privilege. So who really chose whom? You think you keep a cat, but every morning, when that little voice calls out and you rise, half asleep, and walk to the kitchen to answer it, you might want to gently ask yourself which one of you is actually being trained. Which one learned the other's buttons? Which one gets fed, warmed, and adored simply for showing up and making a sound? Because your cat has a voice it uses for almost no other creature on earth. And every single day, it points that voice directly at you.